Hello everybody and welcome. I am Pippa Jacks, the Group Editor at TTG Media in the UK, and we are one of WTM's global media partners. And today it gives me huge pleasure to be able to welcome Jet2 Holidays and to bestow upon them a World Travel Leaders Award in recognition of everything that they've been doing over the last 7 or 8 months. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Alan Cross, who is Head of Trade Sales at Jet2 Holidays.
Thanks, Pippa. It's great to be here.
Thank you, Alan. Well, it's been an absolutely monumental year in the travel and tourism industry, hasn't it? And no travel company has been left unscathed, really, by what we've been through over the last 6 or 7 months. But it's been really interesting to see how some companies have risen to the challenge and adapted and responded to that crisis perhaps better than other companies, and particularly in terms of keeping customers happy, keeping trade partners informed. And that's certainly something that we at TTG Media have seen from Jet2 Holidays in the recent months, whether that's your agent partners or your customers. You've really been lauded for how you've handled a very, very difficult situation, which was exactly why we wanted to recognise Jet2 Holidays with this award today. It'd be great to just talk through a little bit more about how the pandemic has been from Jet2 Holidays' point of view. What have been some of the most difficult moments of the last 7 months for you?
Well, that one's quite an easy one to answer, and that is when the Foreign Office changes their advice with little or no notice, particularly on a Saturday night, when you're sitting watching Sky News and you find out at the same time as the customers and the travel agents do. That has to be a winner for that question. It's particularly difficult as well, as I say, that instance of the Saturday night when you get flights going on a Sunday morning. But we got through there, and the trials and tribulations in the end, and we've seen the light at the other end.
Yes, I think the way the government has handled the changes to travel advice has really highlighted to us all how little they understand about how the travel market works, and how ridiculous it is to issue guidance with such short notice and expect people to be able to change their travel plans in the meantime has been bonkers for sure. Have there been any particular moments in terms of how you have responded as a company that you've been perhaps particularly proud of?
I think that would have to be right at the very beginning of this whole pandemic, and that was producing and implementing the refund credit notes that were ABTA and CAA endorsed. It was a huge task, and it was something that we had no system and no plan for, and we turned that around very, very quickly. That meant that not only were customers' bookings saved, but also the travel agents' commission was saved. And it was very rewarding when I received phone calls from travel agents thanking us for making it happen so quickly.
Yeah, as I say, the feedback you've had about your customer service has been exceptional, really, throughout this, considering what you've had to deal with. And there are other companies of bigger or similar sizes which haven't done nearly as well. And it just goes to show that it can be done, and it's sort of really shone a light on the way Jet2 had approached it compared to some other companies which just held their hands up and said, we can't sort this out, it's too much of a mess. And you didn't do that at all. So it was really, really impressive. I mean, how are you looking ahead to 2021 at this stage then, Alan? What's in the pipeline? What kind of booking levels are you seeing? I imagine you've got a lot of customers who you're simply switching to next year instead.
It's been a steady but positive start for 2021. It's early days, so you don't know which way that's going to go. So it's very interesting. But what we're concentrating on is doing what we do best, and that's offering good value, free child places, promotions, added value to encourage those bookings to come in. Certain destinations, by supply and demand, the speed that they go out there and sell at is quite phenomenal. So others need hard work and a bit of a push. So really, it's business as usual as far as that goes.
I imagine you're very much hoping there'll be some winter market as well. We've had recent good news about the Canaries, for example. Is that quite critical to sort of business success over the next few months, that you can get the Canaries back on sale?
It's fantastic to get another destination back in sale, but also it's a confidence builder. And literally the sales for Canaries has generated winter sales and summer next year overnight because the customer believes they can travel again. So it was great to see that happening, and long may it continue.
Yeah, some more news of that nature would be much appreciated, wouldn't it? And are you seeing anything interesting happening for next year in terms of where people are choosing to go, or how much they're spending, or anything like that? Or is it kind of the classics and the sort of, doing next year what they would have done this year?
It's quite fascinating when you look at it, and we do a lot of analysis to see what's selling, so that what we market and what the travel agents market is correct and in line with what the customers want. And do you want to know something? For the whole, it's the same old. They want Spain, they love the Canaries, they love the Spanish mainland, they love the Balearics. Portugal's in there, and Turkey also, Cyprus, you name it, they like it. And the hotels that they choose are the traditional hotels that sell most popular. So very much business as usual. It's just making sure that we can supply the demand that's there.
Yeah, so perhaps a sense that customers are looking for that sort of familiarity and really solid product choices that they know they can rely on for next year.
Definitely. A reassuring product by a reassuring company booked through a reassuring travel agent. What a perfect match.
And what can you tell us about pricing for next year? I mean, you're a vertically integrated operator, you have your own airline, you're more in control of that side of things. Do we expect pricing is going to increase though?
Well, pricing, we do try and keep pricing down to great value, but sell and demand, and that's why we are seeing certain destinations at certain times literally the price going up very, very quickly. And it's a simple sell and demand economics that drives that, not us driving it behind the scenes. The hotels and ourselves are working very closely to get the best deal out there to encourage sales.
Yeah, those peak travel periods, that the school holidays are going to be even busier, aren't they, for next year? So yeah, hanging on for a last minute bargain for next year is not going to be the way to go really for the UK market.
Definitely not. The advice is book early so not to be disappointed, although shoulders are also selling well. So again, it's the families, people with young children as well are appreciating shoulders are becoming more powerful. So get marketing that as well. Don't forget about the under 5 families.
I know Jet2holidays has been a huge supporter of the travel trade in recent years, doing a hell of a lot to support your travel agent partners. Do you think, as a result of what we've been through and what consumers have been through over the last 7 or 8 months, we might see a greater shift towards people booking through travel agents in the UK market? It's been perhaps a downward trend in some ways in recent years, but there's been so much talk, even on the national TV channels, about why you should be booking with the travel agents at the moment, and people have received great service, had somebody at the end of the line to talk to. Do you think we might see a resurgence or a growth in sales through agent partners?
I think the resurgence has happened. We've certainly seen the support from travel agents grow a few percent. It's now sitting at 31% out there, but we've got to hold that. The travel agents must ensure that not only do they sell great holidays and promote value and everything else, but they promote why customers should be booking through a travel agent, and that's the next stage of what we're helping them do.
Yeah, I think consumers are more receptive than ever to that message at the moment, aren't they? That if you want somebody to have your back if things change, you
somebody to blame. That's what you're saying, Pippa.
And finally, what do you think are going to be the main challenges or issues or sort of barriers to our market recovery here in the UK as we move into next year? There's so much going on, so much has happened in terms of financial protection and the legalities and all sorts of things. And what do you believe to be the biggest issues looking ahead to next year?
As a company, we're always working behind the scenes to work on issues that are affecting the travel industry. But if I was to pick in certain things, particularly travel related, it would have to be probably proportionate evidence-based decisions resulting in regional travel corridors. That's hugely important. And that's what happened recently, as you say, with the Canaries. So long live more of that may happening. Also, I would say that airport testing is important to ensure and minimise that people can both leave and come into this country as simply as possible. And the third thing, I need to go back to your opening question again, and that is to say a little bit more advice from the Foreign Office when they make difficult decisions would go down very nicely. Even 24 hours would be a huge time in the travel industry.
Yeah. I think you're right. We're not going to be saying goodbye to coronavirus anytime soon. It is just a new normal, isn't it? And we need better systems and better processes,
Exactly.
so that we can the industry can continue to move, even as the situation changes around us. So
Exactly.
yeah.
We've got to work with the cards we're dealt with. And again, it's not going to go away. So we need to change to suit that.
Well, thank you very much, Alan, for being with us and for sharing some insight into how Jet2 Holidays has handled the pandemic over recent months. And as I say, I think we've been incredibly impressed from our side watching how you have handled everything. And on that note, we'll move into the formal part of the proceedings. I do have a certificate to present to you. And on behalf of WTM and TTG Media, Alan, it gives me huge pleasure to present Jet2 Holidays with a World Travel Leaders Award for 2020. Handing the certificate over to you now. Huge congratulations.
Well, thanks very much, Pippa. And I'd just like to say on behalf of everybody at Jet2 Holidays, this is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you to everybody for watching and enjoy the rest of the awards.